Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I know I'm late, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, we're gonna try to just go over the important parts. Lisa is pulled to the side by her husband, and she somehow comes to um, the conclusion that Whitney is the common denominator. It's Whitney. John suggests that Lisa and Bronwyn have a separate conversation, basically like away from the group. Now, this is where Lisa lost me. So they go to lunch, and Lisa, you almost got kicked out of the house off the vacation. Todd was 5 minutes away from giving you and your husband $100 in an Uber ride back home. Okay? Because Todd said we only been here 3 hours. Hey! We only been here 3 hours and y'all already kicking up chaos, confusion, and mess. And Todd say I ain't got time for it. Girl, I wanted some peace and quiet. Girl, I didn't sign up for this. My wife signed up for this. I didn't sign up for this. I don't think that Todd, all jokes aside, I don't think that Todd knew. This is the thing. We know this show is about drama, the housewives, period. It's about drama, fussing, cussing, yelling, screaming, making up, crying, hugging. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Todd realized that that's kind of what the show was about, right? I do feel like they pulled Todd to the side and talked to Todd because after that one kind of, I'm gonna give them some money in a car, he still, I think he kind of backed away a little bit. I do feel like probably Bronwyn and a producer or two pulled Todd to the side and was like, hey, I get that this is your, anniversary, but this is how this kind of goes. So we're gonna need you to like girl, just work with us. Um Anyways, so they're having lunch. Lisa decides at that moment that was a good time to have a conversation with Bronwyn. I was like, this is the weirdest time. And then, in the midst of Lisa and Bronwyn trying to have this conversation, she throws Whitney into it. So, of course, Whitney is now, girl, you say my name, girl. Don't come for me unless I send for you. Girl, you call my name, so here I come. Um, they didn't really have any resolve at the table as far as Lisa and Bronwyn. Lisa and Whitney, John kind of stepped in and, I guess he kind of smoothed things out with, did Whitney say this? Did Lisa say this? Okay, it's done. I mean, it is. But I was really, I'm not going to lie. I'm really over the whole jewelry storyline with Whitney, anyways. Um, Sean decides to jump into the mess. Hey, I saw a lot of people online. Some of you, I don't know if it's you or not, but some people online don't like that the husbands are now kind of involved in the mess. I personally don't mind the husbands. Some of the best moments of Atlanta was when the husbands were involved in the mess. Like I don't, uh, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't care who you are. These women are not that interesting to the point where I want to see them argue, fuss, and cuss every episode. I think it is perfectly okay with me, for me. Okay? It is perfectly okay with me that the husbands kind of step in and it's almost like it's weird to me because there are so many people out there who scream and holler at the top of their lungs that these women ain't even married. You're not even no real housewife. Girl, most of them are really technically not housewives. Um, You're not even married, and then it's like that's a requirement for you to want these ladies on the show just to say that they're married or they're connected to a man. But at that point, that's where that you don't want the men really involved. It's like it's weird to me. I don't mind the men. I don't mind the men getting in the mess on New Jersey. I didn't care about it on Atlanta. I don't care about it on Salt Lake City. I actually think it makes the show better. I really do. Um, So, anyways, Sean brings up that Lisa, the way that Lisa speaks to the way that Lisa spoke to Angie was abusive. Girl, but when Lisa said, I ain't gonna lie. When Lisa said, "Oh wow, okay," girl, like, girl, that's some strong language, right? No, nobody wants to be labeled as the abusive one, right? So I could see why Lisa was kind of taken aback. Um, but that's how Sean felt. Um, I think she apologized to Angie. I think she did apologize to Angie. Mary and Robert Jr. and Robert Jr.'s wife. I know y'all heard that Bigfoot elephant up here. It's my neighbor. Um, so Mary, Robert Jr. and his wife. His wife is a pretty girl. She's a pretty white girl. I was like, oh, she's very, very cute. I was actually surprised how cute she was because I just knew she was gonna give me dirty white girl. Because I noticed she was white, girl, the last go around, but I just knew she was gonna give me like dirty white girl, and I was like, oh, she clean, she cute, but she's really pretty to me. Uh, I'll say this before we get into the meat and potatoes, baby. That room, girl. When I tell you, girl, it's like like your room is a mess, and your mama tell you to clean your room up, but you just organize the mess. Like, girl, instead of you really getting up and like getting the trash bag, throwing trash away, taking food, right, putting it in the correct place, like you just kind of like organize the mess. So it's like it's still a mess, but it's just like just organized mess. And I saw Bibles on the table. I saw bags of food. Girl, the way that Mary were looking at them in disgust as they were eating in the bed, crumbs falling everywhere. I said, I know Robert got all types of roaches and ants in that bed. Do you hear me? Um, we know for a fact that Robert is an addict. He went to rehab for, it was reported online. Mary's talked about it. Um, I think it was fentanyl, marijuana, and cocaine. And I'll just say this: one, I want to know where is his daddy. I know Robert doesn't film on the show, okay, but I want to know if Robert is involved in the process of trying to, I guess, get Robert Jr. the necessary help that is needed. I would want to know that because I don't think it's fair that all of Mary does have to accept some blame, and I think Mary recognizes that. Mary realizes that I have spoiled him, I have pacified him, right, and that may not be the best. That probably wasn't the best thing to do. I think Mary probably spoiled him because of her upbringing, right, and her not wanting her child to feel like he went without. Um, I I get someone was talking about this online. we grow and we evolve in the way that we think. And I absolutely understand now how difficult it can be for a parent, especially a mother who has carried this person and birthed them. Girl literally gave them life, okay? How hard it can be for a parent slash mother to kind of wipe your hands clean with someone who may be suffering from addiction. I think that a lot of us have or have had addicts in your family. If you are some, or if you're someone, or if you're the person who had to um, unfortunately go through addiction, deal with addiction. Hopefully, everyone is okay. Um, I can see how it could be hard to just kind of like, especially with Robert Jr. being so young. He's a grown man. He's a very grown man, but he's still only 21, 22. It's not like Robert is 50, 55, and Mary has been struggling with this for decades. And, so I can get how Mary now is in this position where it's like, I really can't kick him out of my house. I can't kick the girlfriend out of the house because if I kick his wife out of the house, Robert Jr. is going to leave too. And Mary already thinks that the girlfriend is played a part in, I guess, Robert changing. So I think that's part of the reason why Mary is allowing the girl, the wife, whatever she is, title, to live in her home. Because if she kicks the girl, the woman out, Robert is going to follow suit. Um, so in a way, it's almost like Mary has to allow both of them to live in her home, so she can keep an eye on Robert Jr. I just think it's a messed up situation to be in. I really, really, I feel bad for Mary, um, especially if Mary is going through this alone. When I say alone, I'm talking about without the assistance of her husband, his father. Like I said, I'm not expecting Rob to see the father on TV because I don't think Robert is dealing with Housewives. But I would want to know. Um, I would want to know if he is involved. Um, outside of the show. But yeah, shout out to Mary. Mary is being very open. Mary has been open, but of course she kind of pulled back. I said Mary must have got a raise, baby. Hello, because this is very, very personal. This is very, very personal, right? This is like, to me, like reality TV. When we talk about reality TV, girl, this is reality TV. Anyways, shout out to Robert Jr. I hope he's doing good, baby. So I don't know if they was lying or not. But baby, all I know is Bronwyn had a $4 million necklace wrapped around her motherfucking neck. I said, baby, yes, baby. I said that's the type of carrying on I want to see. Guys, I'm so happy y'all homegirl ain't here. I'm sorry. You know the one who got upset and pissed off that Lisa was talking about her $60,000 earring or ring that she lost. I said, girl, she would if she definitely wouldn't have been able to handle, girl, the $4 million diamond. Girl, the carats. I think it was 170 carats. Did y'all hear when Todd was throwing shade at Lisa and John's tequila line? He said he called it mediocre. Did y'all hear when Bronwyn used the analogy about their marriage? They were sitting outside having dinner. It was an anniversary party, and it was cold. And Bronwyn said it's miserable but beautiful, an analogy we use for Todd and I's marriage. I said, oh, now I'm not gonna lie. Can we go ahead and let me go ahead and say something? Based off of what we see, Bronwyn is my girl. But girl, just because you're my girl don't mean we don't tell the truth around on this side of town. It looked like Bronwyn is doing Housewife 101. Let me get on this show, girl, start making a couple of dollars, and then possibly leave my husband. based on what we see coming up, it looked like some shit is about to go down with Bronwyn and Todd. Um, I noticed last week when Bronwyn talked about basically his temper and him kind of when it's up, it's up. I mentioned that in my review. I said, I know y'all heard Bronwyn basically talk about Todd's temper. I said, oh. um, I think what happens in situations like this, there is a the balance of power. It's uneven. Okay. Um, you have Bronwyn, who is a young woman in comparison to her husband. Um, he has the money, from what I understand. Listen, I don't know what Bronwyn. I don't know if Bronwyn had money or not. As far as I'm concerned, Bronwyn was broke. She got knocked up when she was a teenager. What was she, 19 when she got pregnant? Was she 19? Or maybe she wasn't a teenager. Maybe she was 20, 21. She was young. And we not gonna sit here and act like, girl, when we see the young girl with especially the old rich man, and the man, it ain't like Todd is just this supermodel. We're not gonna sit here and act like we don't know what's going down. You know, it ain't no different than Michael and Ashley, Bronwyn and Todd, right? Girl, this is my trophy wife. This is my rich man. This was my way to get out of whatever situation that I was in. Okay. Um, but I can definitely see it being some issues in their marriage because Todd is an older, rich, white man. And with Todd being older and Todd um, probably being in charge when it comes to his professional life, I don't see Todd being the type of man who I could see Todd being a handful. And I could see that with a lot of rich people, but especially rich white old men. But I can see that just with rich people, period. No, I take that back. I can see that with rich men, period. Right? But when you take into account the age difference, the power dynamic, the money, right? It does kind of give you Erica and Tom, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's something to be said about when you look at these relationships and it's an older man with a younger woman, and the older man usually is kind of boom, 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 and the woman is kind of, a little submissive. But we know that, some of the girls, they willing to stick around with a nigga broke anyways. But when you got a little bit of change, I in my belief, I believe that you are willing. That's not necessarily true either. It's not true because that's when because the girls stick around when a nigga broke. But I do believe that when you have a little bit of money, somebody is willing to probably stick around a little bit longer. Anyways, I just want to. I had to get that out. Okay. Um. Lisa, do you feel that you owe Justin an apology? Girl. So Whitney brings this up. Baby, when Justin apologizes to Lisa. We're not gonna be down here all day. I've been running my mouth for too long already. Long story short, Justin apologized to Lisa. Baby, when Justin apologized and Whitney did like this, I don't think Whitney didn't want Justin to apologize. Whitney did not want Justin to apologize. Me personally, as a grown man, I wouldn't have apologized. It ain't got nothing to do with me being gay. I'm telling you, as a grown man, if that was me, okay, and if I were Justin, I wouldn't have apologized. I would have let it be known that no apologies are needed. I think that you know where I stand. I think I know where you stand. I think that we have to be honest if we're going to move forward with this friendship. You brought me into this mess. I was over there talking to your husband. You came over where your husband and I were standing, and you started to badmouth my wife to me. That's how this happened. I was not involved in your mess. Y'all mess when y'all were on the other side of the house. You brought the mess to me. I'm not gonna sit there and let you talk to me about my motherfucking wife. Okay? So no, I'm not apologizing. I don't expect an apology from you, but we can move forward. That's what I would have said. I'm not apologizing for that. I'm not at all. Okay? That's what like I want people to get to a point on these shows where they tell you straight to your face, I'm not apologizing. I ain't did shit wrong. You brought the shit to me. Period. I was minding my business, having a conversation with your husband. Okay? You're not gonna come. You can talk shit to my wife face, and she can get you together, but you're not gonna come over to my face talking shit about my wife and think I'm just gonna stand there. Girl, no, I'm gonna say something bad. If you get your ass out my face and go talk to my wife, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay? Anyways, Sean and Meredith. Listen, I don't know what happened between the interview with Sean. I actually don't even care. Well, I don't care enough to try to go Google it and listen to it. But I'm gonna say this much: it sounded like Sean low-key was getting Meredith together. Now, I was with Sean. This is what I'm talking about. This is the example. I'm not apologizing. What it sounds like to me, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Meredith tried to pull you talked about my child. One, Brooks is a grown. They say online Brooks is 26. Girl, I'm not getting on here defending no 26-year-old, no grown ass man. I can see if Brooks was probably 13, a child. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. Brooks is grown, so I really don't care. And I know they say he's 26. Um, but I think Meredith tried to pull what a lot. It's no shade. But I think Meredith tried to pull what a lot of men and women, especially I see this on the reality shows, where you could be questioning someone's parenting, questioning someone's motives as it relates to them being a parent. And they say, you talking about my child? You talking about my child? No, they're talking about your parenting. It's a difference, okay? Now, your child was brought into the conversation, but they're not talking about your child. They're talking about you being an ain't shit mama. And I think that's what Sean was doing. I think Sean was questioning Meredith's motives when it comes to the LGBTQ, questioning, how she's moving as a mother when it comes to her son. But he didn't say anything about Brooks from what I could hear, from what they showed. And I think that Meredith was trying to pull an apology out of Sean. And Sean is like, I ain't talked about your son. Okay? And what Meredith should have said, I want an apology because you're trying to say that I'm using the LGBTQ community. What she should have said was, I want an apology because you said that I'm trying to use my son. You see what I'm saying? But you sitting here trying to pull you talking about my son and it's not going to fly. And Sean was catching it. I said, I'm with Sean. Sean said, I'm not apologizing for shit. And then he said, I already told you twice. God said, yay! Sean said, I already told you twice. I didn't say nothing about your son. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That's the type of carrying on I want to see. Stand in your shit. I'm not apologizing for shit. I didn't say nothing about your son. If you want to get down to it, I talked about you as a mama. Okay? That's what I did. Okay? Now, when Sean said, I already told you twice I would never use your kid in a bad way to use that against you. So for you to victimize yourself again, basically that was crazy. But low key, Sean, you did kind of use, you tried to use her kid, her grown son, in the LGBTQ. You did. That's what I said. Meredith, I think Meredith was kind of knocked off her rocker because Meredith, you really should have went at that a different angle. Meredith thought that this was going to be one of those housewife moments where I could say you talked about my kid, and then the person said, "Oh, I didn't talk about your kid, but I apologize anyways." And Sean was standing on business, standing on big business. Okay, Sean said, "I apologize for shit." Now, if you could tell me why I talked about your child, then I'll let you know. Did y'all see, baby? Did y'all see when Seth was over there on his phone scrolling, looking for something? I said, girl, you could tell he was over there looking for, trying to find the article when Sean, girl, was supposedly talking about Brooks, girl. It was so cringy to me. I like Seth, I do. But it was so cringe to me when he was like, biatch. I was like, what the hell is this? Man, when Whitney said, when Whitney said, I have to zip my energy right now. It's taking everything I have not to leap across this table and beat the shit out of him. I said, I know that's right. I'm so saying I gotta zip my energy up right now. Girl, y'all trying to get me out. Y'all trying to get me out of character. Let me zip my energy up. Hello? Anyways, again, I don't know if Sean talked about Brooks, but it sounds like he didn't. Yeah. Angie, this is the thing. Okay, what time is it? Because I gotta go here and find something to wear. I'm about to go to a birthday dinner. What time is it? Oh shit, 5:15. I gotta be at the place at 7:30, and I still don't know what I'm wearing, and I gotta dress up. I'm gonna try to take a picture of it and show y'all what I threw together. I'm gonna figure out something, child. Um, I got enough time, but I want to do a hot topics video too before I left. You think I can do a hot topics video? It's 5:15. If I finish this video in 7 minutes, do a hot topics video. I could just do the hot topics when I get home. I don't plan on being on that long. I should be back home by like 9:30. I don't think it's gonna. But usually dinners don't take that. It's a birthday dinner. It don't take. Usually birthday dinners don't last that long. Like 2 hours maybe. I could do it when I get back home. Okay. Oh. So Angie brings up Gwen, which is Bronwyn's daughter. And see, this is the thing. I saw a lot of people discuss it in Todd's response. I wasn't mad at Todd's response. I'm gonna tell you this much. I don't think that Bronwyn was wrong, and I don't think that Todd was wrong. I think that this was two people. I think that sometimes in situations we always try to find someone who's wrong, who's right. And I think that for Angie bringing it up, Bronwyn was okay with kind of talking about it, right? I think Bronwyn knows, on some real shit, Bronwyn knows what time it is with their Real Housewives. So even I may have to talk about uncomfortable things even at the dinner table. Todd, on the other hand, I don't think Todd really knows how the housewife world works, and he really don't give a damn, right? Todd is rich. I don't need this fucking show. Okay, so however y'all work over here, I don't have to work because I don't work for y'all. Pretty much, I'm doing it. Really, I'm doing this because my wife was probably bored at the home and wanted to do something, right? But he don't know that Bronwyn probably is baby girl. He don't know that Bronwyn probably get about a season or two. Girl, she gonna be leaving you, Todd. Anyway, but Todd basically shuts it down and says basically Gwen ain't reconnecting with nobody. Once I know that's right. Listen, not y'all, but people always talk about how it's a man's job to protect his family. I think that in Todd's head, he was protecting his family. In Todd's head, I believe that he was not going to sit at this dinner table and have a conversation as sensitive as that, knowing how upset it can make Bronwyn, right? This conversation can go left real fast. So, what we're not going to do is on our anniversary, sit at this table, right? Because y'all are trying to film some fucking show and talk about what's going on with our daughter. Now, it's not Todd's biological daughter, but he has been a part of that girl's life for a very long time, right? Again, I could see how Bronwyn was probably embarrassed because Todd pretty much kind of like put the hammer down, and no one wants to feel like they're being shushed, as a grown ass woman in front of other grown ass people. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing, right? So Todd probably could have handled that a different way, right? Still, like, I don't think this is the right time to kind of talk about that. That's a very sensitive subject. I think that we should probably put a pin, so there's ways that you can say it, but Todd is very much boom, 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 right? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. But at this point, Bronwyn knows who her husband is. Um, but that's about the only thing that I will say now that I'm thinking about it, that Todd could have changed up. Um, was his delivery, was his tone. But again, Bronwyn knows who her husband is. I don't think at the end of the day that Todd was wrong. I don't think that Bronwyn was wrong. Bronwyn was doing her job, right? Which is to talk about her reality on a reality show. Todd was doing his job, what he probably felt as a man, which is to protect my family. We're not going to talk about this shit at no dinner table with y'all. Half of y'all I don't even like anyways, pretty much. Um, Lisa and Bronwyn have a conversation. Long story short, it does appear to me, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to be so far up Bronwyn's ass, but it does appear that Lisa um, is defending. It almost sounds like Bronwyn wants Lisa to basically just defend her. You ain't gotta just run around here and just, defend me at every turn. But girl, if someone is assassinating my character, girl, stand up and say, girl, I don't really think that, Bronwyn ain't never really showed me that, so I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you had a different experience with her, but my experience has always been blah, 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 blah. I think that's what Bronwyn wants. But I think that Lisa um, is so busy trying to speak for Heather, it does appear as though she's kind of negating what, I'm not gonna say all the facts, but she's kind of ignoring Bronwyn's what she's saying and how she feels. And it's all about kind of defending Heather instead of just having a conversation about me and you and the way that you move. You want to keep having a conversation about Heather. Girl, we ain't got to talk about Heather. I'm talking about me and you, okay? You and I, and the way that I feel like you move. That's what I want to talk about. We ain't got to talk about that heifer. I'll talk to her another day. I'm talking about you and the way that you are showing up in this friendship. That's what I think Bronwyn wants to talk about. And Lisa keeps wanting to talk about Heather. I could be wrong though. Let me make sure okay. Tequila, miserable, apology, Sean, Meredith, Biatch, Sean, Meredith. Okay, energy. I've already told you twice. Sean was scrolling on the phone. Angie brings up Gwen, Lisa and Bronwyn. Okay, we're good. So they are about to leave, baby. The plane is small. Bronwyn said there's only 4 seats for first class. So, of course, she gave her and Todd 2 out of the 4. Everybody else had to basically fly coach. Bitch, when Angie bitch, when Angie was checking her ticket, she said, I'm 19A. I don't know why that was funny to me. Angie said, I'm 19A. I know about 19. I know about everything in coach. Okay. When Lisa said, I don't carry coach, I don't fly coach, Lisa was pissed. This is the thing, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and defend Lisa for a little bit. I have flown first class one time in my entire life, and that was on a trip to Atlanta. And that was because a flight from Houston to Atlanta is only like an hour 30, hour 40, 2 hours. It ain't that long. And the difference, the difference between there was like a $60 difference with me checking in my luggage and me flying first class. It would have been I would for me to fly first class to Atlanta. It was $60 more. So I was like, I might as well just pay the $60 just fly first class. I was like, you know. So I was excited about that, girl. It's everything. Oh, girl, when I say girl, but yeah, I've flown first class one time. It's the best experience in the world. I could just imagine when you go on longer flights. Oh, girl. So I'm not one who flies first class. Okay, girl, I'm the one who when you check my plane, when you check my seat, it's gonna be 25A, girl, 34B, okay, 37D, okay, girl, 29F, okay, 33A. I'm gonna be way in the back of the plane. Um, I ain't paying for no seat. That's one thing I don't do, girl. Whatever seat I can get with my ticket, then that's what we're gonna do. Unless I fly Spirit. If I fly Spirit, then I might have to buy a seat because, girl. Um, I saw some people discuss it in Lisa in her reaction to flying coach. Again, I'm not the one who flies first class. We watch these shows for these women who are really supposed to live differently than the majority of us, right? I think where the housewives went wrong, even though a lot of these housewives are not rich, they at least tried to fake it until they made it. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I was so disgusted in y'all homegirl last season coming in, girl making a big deal out of $60,000 earrings. Girl, Potomac Atlanta would have never done that. Atlanta didn't have no money, but they faked it until they made it. Um, I just feel like there's a group of people out there who want these housewives to be so relatable, and I don't. I want to see the girls flying first class everywhere they go, even if it is a 60-minute flight. I want to see the girls buying a $4 million necklace. I want to see the girls staying in a villa that's $20,000, $30,000 per night. Okay, that's what I want to see. That was the whole premise of this show when it first kicked off, was to see these rich women who kind of live in their own world. Most of us will never live like Lisa Vanderpump and have swans in the front of our home. You see what I'm saying? Most of us will never be able to afford a $4 million necklace. So Lisa saying the line about I don't carry coach, I don't fly coach. Does it bother me? No. Because a lot of these housewives don't wear coach. Hello. Does it bother me that Lisa is worked up over not sitting in first class? No, because Lisa wants to sit in first class. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to do what you're used to doing. Lisa said, I haven't flown coach since college. Lisa is a first class girl. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a coach boy. Hello. Because that's what my money allows. Okay, now once my money gets to the point, because we're gonna claim it in the name of Jesus. But once my money gets to the point where I can fly, I don't know, I already told y'all. Let me tell you one thing I've told the cousins. I told them one thing that is going to change when I get access to a little bit of money is I'm only staying in the best hotels and I'm only flying first class. I can't now. Girl, I do what I can do with what I got. So I might not be able to stay in the best of the best of the best of the hotels. I'm gonna stay in a 3-star. We'll be okay. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I can't fly first class, but I'm gonna get where I'm going though. I'm gonna be on the same plane with you. We're going to the same place. I'm just in a different area of the plane, but we're going to the same place. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I'm not mad at Lisa. Where Lisa started to lose me is when Lisa started making a big deal out of flying first class, but you were just saying how you were just so ready to go home and see your son. Girl, which one is it? And just like her husband said, so you would rather catch a later flight for than to go home and see your son. Well, that's what we have to do. Whatever she's, I was just like, Lisa, now this is where then you get mad when people start to question you as a mother. It's no shade. You want to get home, and on some real shit, the flight, girl, with everything I just said, the flight is only 60 minutes. Girl, I think somebody said 65 minutes. I think Bronwyn said 45 minutes. Whatever airport they're flying from, I guess once they get in the air, the flight is only, I'm just going to say an hour. Girl, the flight is only an hour. Bitch, you could put on a YouTube show. Girl, you could watch, girl, a Real Housewives show. And by the time you, girl, finish the show, girl, you're landing. It's really not that long of a flight. Again, I get that people want what they want, but Lisa was doing, just a tad bit, because once you bring into account that the flight is not that long. I could see if the flight was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. Now I could see Lisa really cutting up over some shit like that. Like, girl, I'm not about to be. I don't fly coach. Now y'all better be glad this flight. My attitude would have been more so, I don't fly coach, but because the flight is only 60 minutes, girl, let's just go. I gotta get home. You see what I'm saying? So I could see. I mean, I guess I could see how some people could say Lisa was being unreasonable because of the fact that the flight was 60 minutes. Okay, never mind. I guess I can see how some people could say that Lisa was being unreasonable because the flight was only 60 minutes. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that Lisa says that she hasn't flown coach since college. But the flight is only 60 minutes, Lisa. I guess I could see both sides. I don't know, child. I'm just rambling now. Okay, where do I stand on it? Where do I stand on this? I know where I stand on it. Lisa's not wrong for wanting to fly first class. That's what she wants to do. That's her life. However, Lisa, girl, the flight is only 60 minutes. Girl, throw your shit on that plane and get your ass home. You would rather do all this driving around, fly to Los Angeles, and get home later when you say you're in a rush to see your son instead of just getting your ass home in a few minutes and being done with it. Girl, I don't give a damn. Girl, I'm flying coach. Girl, and I carry coach. Okay? I carry coach and I fly coach. Okay? Anyway. All right, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Let me go over here. I gotta find somewhere and wash my ass. I'll talk to y'all later tonight when I get home. Bye y'all.